All right, all right. I want to say Happy New Year to everyone and welcome to 2024. This is Glenn Blackwell, the Metro Detroit Director for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And just want to say that I'm very thankful for this position that God has placed me in, and also thankful for the work in the ministry that God has laid out for myself, and just He's just doing that exceedingly abundantly above what I can ask or think. And today I wanted to take this opportunity, as most of you all know, each month or every quarter. I like to feature athletes and also coaches that are having impact that we're doing ministry with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And what an honor I have today. I have an honor today to be able to introduce to you some dynamic people from the school of Southfield A&T, the Warriors. That is the Division I state champions for our boys football team. And just wanted to say that I reached out to Coach Marshall almost a year ago, not quite a year ago, but a little over, beginning in the summertime, and talked about making sure that we had FCA at their school. And he was like, let's do it. And so he opened the door. When I say open the door, he opened the door for us to be able to be a part. And at the end, I see why he did it. It was almost like intentional, and he was building a community. Not only was he building a football team, but he was building a community with different pieces, and we were a part of that piece. And to be able to come in and just add, sports and ministry or sports and faith to it, it was just a phenomenal opportunity for myself, and it being the first time that I did a athletes huddle. I started off doing coaches huddles, and this was the first time doing an athletes huddle. Had a chance to start off in the preseason where coach asked me to come and speak to the entire group, and the subject was on selflessness. And so we'll talk a little bit about that, and I just want to add them into the mix, and we're going to get this going. So first, I'm going to bring in to the stage. We got Coach Aaron Marshall, who is just a dynamic man. I can say a man of God, and also a leader of men. And also want to add to the stage his nephew Isaiah Marshall, who is the quarterback of that team. And then I want to add to the stage Tashi Braceful, who was the recipient of that quarterback on many occasions in the end zone. So, Warrior Nation, welcome to our FCA interview.
Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate you having us on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So let's talk about this. First of all, congratulations on winning the state championship and whatnot. And that was just an awesome uh, thing to watch from my view, because I had personally just, I'm a basketball guy, by nature, and then I was learning, even though I have football in my blood through my family, but just watching the ins and outs of it. So congratulations on winning the state championship. So how does it feel to achieve such a significant accomplishment, Coach? Talk about that.
It feels good, man. You preach to the boys all year about the things they can accomplish. If they do X, Y, and Z, right? If you dedicate yourself and always keep God first, um, and work as hard as you possibly can, the results will show. And it felt good for me as a coach because now I look like I know what I'm talking about, right? So, the results absolutely showed, but it's a testament to these young men. I always say, especially the senior class, because they did everything we asked them to do,
Right.
and it all worked out.
Excellent. Go ahead, Isaiah.
I think it's great knowing that the hard work we put in off and during the season paid off, and just us trusting the process that our coaches put us through. If it just paid off.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tashi.
to me, I feel it feels great that we're able to accomplish that as a team and as a unit. All the hard work that we put in and all the practices that we went through, and that it finally paid off. That last year with everybody, it felt great.
Yeah. So do this for me, Tashi. I want to take you to the championship game and tell me what do you think were one of the key moments that contributed to that victory?
Key moments that contributed to that victory, I believe, was early on in the game. Our defensive stops, holding them to only 10 points in the first half, was huge because that gave us a huge momentum push, keep it going in the second half, and also that last drive, uh, key catches made by me and Savi and Isaiah running. The drain the clock and able to only give them like 40 seconds to go down and try to take the lead. That was like two key moments that sealed the victory to me.
What about you, I? Did you see it that way?
Uh, yeah, but I think some key moments was definitely the first drive that we scored on because I think that helped me and my team, kind of know that we can play with these guys and that we're better than them. So just us scoring the first drive was very huge, and then also our defensive stops was just like Tashi said, and also us scoring right before halftime, and then us scoring right out of halftime because that put
Right.
us up 28-10. So I think that was huge, so we can get the lead.
Yeah. So going into the game, coach, was that kind of like the strategy behind that? Like, because all year long, you heard about, Belleville and Bryce and what they're doing. And for me, in sports I was saying to you guys, slay the Giants, slay the Giants. So,
Mhm.
so how was that for you, coach, going into that game?
For us, man, we had to, do us, right? As we say in Southfield. So we had to play our game within ourselves and of course, keep the emotions kind of level. State championship game, you playing a team that's 38-0. So it's real easy to get, real high emotionally. So you want the kids to live in the moment and understand, how heavy the moment is, but at the same time, maintain who we are, and not get outside of ourselves. So they did a really good job of staying locked in. We went down to Fort Field the day before to check out Harper Woods on Saturday in their state championship game.
Right.
And I think that was real big because the boys got to just have fun, pull out their camera, take pictures of Fort Field. They walked through the tunnel. So you kind of got that stuff out the way. Then Sunday when we showed up, right, we showed up on a business trip. So the boys really showed about how locked in they were. I agree with both of them as far as like, how the game plan went, how the game we made some really key stops on defense, which was huge. Us scoring on our first drive and then stopping them on their first drive, making them punt, I think sent a message to our team, like Isaiah said, kind of giving us a confidence of like, yeah, I know they 38-0, but we here, and kind of gave Belleville the message of, man, Southfield is here. You know what I mean? So it
Right.
was a good way to start the game. And as you see, as the game went on, we needed that cushion going up 28-10 at one point because we knew they would make a run, right? They're 38-0 for a reason, right? They got great football players all around. So we knew they'd make their run and their push. So us having that cushion and points really helped us out.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, I had to watch the game. I was in Florida, and I was trying my best to get back for the game, and I we had a late flight. I was with my mom and my aunt. We had a late flight. We flew from Florida to what did we go to? Charlotte. We had to fly to Charlotte. So I'm watching the whole game, and then when I was on the plane, I found out I can get Wi-Fi. So I'm like, whoa! I'm like, man, I'm watching the whole thing, man.
Yeah.
I was so excited, man. I'm on the plane. It was just so real because just I watched you all from the beginning to the end, and I had that opportunity. I was a witness for it all, and I remember watching one particular game. I think it was at Rochester when when it was raining, and y'all had a couple of bad snaps. And I remember everybody was just like, man, y'all was up. And coach, I really commend you on how you was able to calm everybody down. Everybody was like, because your starting center, y'all were on your third. third string center. That was that the third string or second string center? Was that I'm
Third
help,
string,
Oh,
third
yeah.
string center.
y'all was on the
Yeah,
third string center.
yeah.
Your top guy was hurt, and he was pacing up and down because he was like, I was like looking at him. I was like, you want to be out there? He said, man, I can't. And so, coach, he was able to calm everybody down, and it was like, y'all finished that thing off, and I watched the whole thing, and so I commend you on that, and commend you guys on what you have done. So let's do this, coach. Starting with yourself, let's just tell the viewers who you are. Well, we know your name, but where do you come from? What high school? How did this football thing all start for you?
So yeah, I started born and raised in Southfield. Started with Southfield Jayhawks youth organization my entire football career as a kid. So 8 years old till I reached the ninth grade. Then I went to high school at Brother Rice for my ninth and 10th grade year. Then I moved out to Chicago and went to Mount Carmel for my junior and senior year. Won two state championships there. Played quarterback my whole life. From after Mount Carmel, went to Youngstown State. Got a conference championship there. Played quarterback 4 years there, Youngstown State. Went there 01 to 06. Left Youngstown, played arena ball for 4 years. Left arena ball, moved back home to Detroit, and started coaching for Southfield Jayhawks youth organization first. I was head coach of the A team there for some years. Then I was head coach at Detroit Northwestern High School for 2 years. Left Detroit Northwestern. Then I've been in Southfield the last 9 years.
Wow. So in your DNA, man, this championship thing is in your DNA. You have a formula for it. You have it,
Yeah.
and and that's good. And then you have so now the Jayhawks. Do they still exist, or is there
Yeah.
Jayhawks
No.
Falcons now?
Right. They don't exist anymore. They folded after some years, but they had a nice run, man. It was around almost 60 years.
Really?
Just numbers got tough and people started opening new teams. So numbers got tough. So they ended up eventually folding. And it's only the Falcons now that's in Southfield. It used to be both of us, but now it's just the Falcons.
Okay. So now you got all this quarterback stuff. So I'm trying to. So let me wrap my mind around this because your brother Brian, right?
Yeah.
He was a D-back, right?
Running back.
He was a running back.
Running
So
back. Yeah.
okay, so he was a running back, and he played at Northwestern,
Correct. Yeah.
And then how did this thing, with Isaiah going from not being a running back to a quarterback? So
Yeah.
the
Brian kind
uncle
of had a vision,
influence,
man.
huh?
So Brian from when Isaiah was a kid, 6, 7 years old, I started training Isaiah at quarterback. It was Brian's idea. Like, I think he can throw. I don't know what he saw in him as a young kid. So we started training Isaiah early, man. And then it just came to fruition. I trained him, his earlier years in life. Then at some point, I handed him over to Coach Pop, and Coach Pop started training Isaiah for a long time. So yeah, he's been playing quarterback, man, since he had a football in his hand, and Brian had a vision for it.
Wow. So Isaiah, so you didn't buck against you. You just said, all right, I'm just gonna go with what Uncle Aaron has for me. I saw a video that I think that you posted on Facebook when you showed Isaiah when he was 8 or 9.
Nine, yep, 9 years old, yep.
Yeah, going through the cones and doing all that footwork, and I was like, wow, that's something. So Isaiah, you talk to me a little bit about, well, first of all, share with the people who you are, and year you are. Well, obviously we know you're a senior, but where you're going and what you look forward to.
I'm Isaiah Marshall. I play quarterback. I'm going to the University of Kansas, and I'm looking forward just to become a better player, a better leader, and just help lead Kansas to the championship.
I see that. And now you have that in your DNA. And people don't understand. It's not you just don't come by championships. Not everybody going, I don't care sometimes what you have on paper, it may look like on paper a championship ingredients or, talent or potential, but sometimes it just doesn't turn out that way. And I know that from my own experience, like many years that I played in high school and playing at Holland Park, and also I had some great teams at the University of Illinois, and we had every position was preseason All-American, but it didn't pan out to a championship, and so that helps out a lot. So Tell me one thing, Isaiah, that winning this championship, how you would, how do you, transition into the environment of Kansas? What does that do for you?
Right. Just to be a good teammate still, just to be a good leader, and just to trust my coaching, and just to trust the players around me and the people around me to lead me to the top.
That's good, man. That's so important in terms of like that chemistry of trust, of especially your teammates and the players with you. So we have one of your teammates, Tashi Braceful, who obviously, there had to be some sense of trust because, every time I looked around, man, he was jumping up in the air in the end zone, catching those touchdowns. So Tashi, why don't you share with the people a little bit about yourself and what the future holds for you?
I'm Tashi. I'm committed. Well, I'm going to the University of Toledo to play football. So yeah, I'm just excited to do that, be able to go there and play under Coach Candle and win a lot of games.
So how many touchdowns did you end up with this year?
I think like 14 touchdowns on the whole season, I believe.
Wow. So, and then Isaiah, how many touchdowns did you throw this year?
I
Well,
don't. I
say that
don't know.
again.
I said I don't know.
Coach Marshall, help me out, man. Come
I,
on.
I would have to look it up. He had a lot. I would have to look it up. I can find out for you. Give me 1 second. Let me see.
So obviously you had 14 passing, well, right?
Right.
Or 14 passing to Tashi, and then not counting how many you ran, right? And then you had to pass to
Yeah,
some other wide
I can
receivers.
find
And
out.
you got solid.
He had 37 touchdown passes this year.
Come on, man. You said
37
how
touchdown
many?
passes, 15 runs, 52 total touchdowns from him.
Wow. That's phenomenal, man.
Thank you.
Phenomenal. Yes, yes, yes. So accolades. Well, I believe you got the Division One Player of the Year. Um, that was through the MHSAS, so Football Association, correct?
Yes,
And
sir.
then also, what about Max Preps? Did you get the Max Prep Player of the Year?
Yes, I did. I got Max
Okay.
Westford.
What else did I leave out? Talk to me.
Um, which one, Coach? It was the
State champs, Mr. Football.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said that one, I think, and then it was something with the news, right?
Oh yeah, Detroit News, like the All North Dream Team and all that stuff.
Wow. Great accomplishment. Great
Thank you.
accomplishment. So now, as we look at, um, we'll talk about, I could talk football and sports all day. And I just want to, first of all, Coach, again, thank you for opening the door. And when you opened the door for us to be able to do a huddle, right? One of the things that we wanted to do a little different, and in terms of the huddle, we wanted to bring some leadership. And so I think the first two people you talked about was Tashi and Isaiah. And so I remember seeing both of you all at the Falcons football game, and I approached. I said, Isaiah, man, I need your help. And you looked at me. You didn't even flinch. He didn't even flinch when I said, I need your help with FCA. He said, oh, no doubt. Then he said, my boy Tashi will be able to help out as well. And so, boom. I mean, it was like clockwork. And so that really helps out because when you talk about building a culture in any program, your leaders, we call it peer, peer on peer, you know, that's going to help, those are the coaches. And so they helped out tremendously when we started our first huddle. Isaiah and Tashi, I met with them. We did a couple of trainings, met with them, and anybody that walked into that huddle, they got pizza. So I would bring pizza every week to our viewers out there. They say, if you get pizza, you got to stand here and get this word. And they were like, security over that pizza and making sure that individuals would get that word. And so, can you, Isaiah or Tashi, can you share with the people there. What do you remember any? We did our tour, right? So what was anything significant in the lessons that we taught that you can remember or reflect on?
Um, I do remember the time where Jesus had to sacrifice himself. It was a party going on. No, I think it was a wedding going on, and he had to and they ran out of wine,
Right.
and he had to make water out of. I mean, he used the water and made wine with it. So he had to sacrifice, and he had to do what he did so the wedding could continue and it could be a good wedding still.
So, right. And I'll go ahead, Tashi. I'm gonna let you talk, and I'll expound on that.
For me, I remember we were going down a list of things, and we had to call out what it was, and then you gave us wristbands. So I remember the wristband that you had gave us with the cross and the division sign. And I had wore the wristband for a few games, like so I could have God with me on the field. So I remember that from our lesson.
Right. So the wristband that he's referring to is what we call our four. And for our viewers, I don't know if you can see that, but the four, and that's the heart, the division sign, the heart. God loves you. Heart. The division sign is sin separates. Cross is He's rescue us, and then the question mark is will you trust Him? And so those are the things that we went through, and again, um, that was powerful for him. But I want to go to Isaiah's when he talked about Jesus turning the water into wine. Coach Marshall asked me to share at the preseason, and so and the theme and topic was, say, Coach, what is it that you want? It's selflessness. And so that whole story there, Jesus Jesus really, like Isaiah said, he did not want that wedding party to go, to be sour because of the fact that, if you go to any type of party or any type of uh, gathering, most people are connected with food and drink. And so a lot of times people have this controversy over, should you drink? And that wasn't really the whole thing about the water and the wine. It was the fact that, number one, Jesus was invited to that party. And what I challenged each of the players and also the coaches was we need to invite Jesus to this Southfield A&T party, and which y'all did. And so and I think about and the miracle of that inviting Jesus to that wedding was he turned the water into wine because he did not want that wedding party to be wrong, because that would look bad on the bride and the groom. And so I remember the West Bloomfield game was at the semifinal. Yeah, that was the semifinal. And I told Coach Aaron this story. I don't know if I told you, Tashi and Isaiah, this story. It's 49 seconds to go. I believe you all don't have any timeouts left. And y'all had the ball on yard 20, and you had to go the entire field without any timeouts. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was there any timeouts in that series at
No.
49 seconds ago?
No.
So I'm in my car watching it from the parking lot, right? So I'm gonna connect the miracle. This was the miracle drive, I call it. The miracle drive for Southfield A&T. I'm in my car watching it in the parking lot. I said, oh man, how they gonna do this? And so I said, man, this might be over with. And so I drove out that parking lot, and then I said, wait a minute. The Holy Spirit said to me, what happened to the water turning to wine? He reminded me, and I stopped my car. I promise you guys, I stopped and said, "Yeah, that's what we said." And I stopped and I said, "Yeah, come on now." I start talking. Y'all know how I am. I'm deaf, and life is in the power of the tongue. I said, "Come on, y'all got to get this thing. Come on now." The next thing I know, one pass went there. I don't know. I can't remember all of how far it was. Next thing I know, and I looked up. It's about. Tell me how many seconds was left. What was the fight? How many seconds was left
Two.
before? 2 seconds left
On the
2 seconds.
final play.
for the touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
2 seconds left. Yeah.
Man, that's all I can say. Is Jesus turned that water into wine for for Southfield A&T. That was a miracle, and all I saw was the celebration, and I was man. That was like, man, that was a great, great, great win and on to the championship. So again, I was thankful to be a part, and it was a great thing. Um, so what is tell me, Coach, what is FCA meant? What is the ministry of FCA meant for you?
Man, it's been phenomenal, and first I want to say thank you for being with us every Tuesday throughout our entire season, and for speaking at our camp during our tour days to the boys. I think that kind of stuff is priceless. I'm real big on coaching the whole child, right? It's not just about football for me. I believe that if you live right and you do the right things off the field, it directly correlates how much success you have on the field. So us having the complete child from the academic, to the athletic, to the spiritual, all kids that wanted to take part. I think that it's a phenomenal thing because that's how when you see young men grow, right? I can have phenomenal athletes, right? But he's not growing as a young man, right? Again, whether spiritually, socially, academically, whatever it may be. So I think you volunteering your time, coming out every Tuesday, at 6 o'clock and talking to the boys, I think that kind of stuff is priceless. And when I would see new kids join you in your huddle every single week, that's what made me proud, right? Because that means that somebody left and said something to somebody else. And so now you got two more, and then two more, and then two more. Then that room start getting packed. And I think that, again, man, I just think that stuff is priceless. And I look forward to them being there with you every Tuesday.
Yeah, that was an opportunity for me to be. And one of the things that I shared with them was I don't ever get before these young men and try to act like I got it all going on. I I try to share myself with them, because we all have struggles. We all have things that we're going through, and I just wanted to make sure that these young men knew can some of my mistakes that I had. I would share that with them, and it was great, man. It was great, and again, I'm thankful for it, and I look forward to continuing being a part of what you do. So, and here we have in a new year where, Coach, you're going to be leaving one Warrior program and going to the next Warrior program.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for those who haven't heard, that Coach Aaron Marshall will be taking his talents not to South Beach, but he'll be going down the road to Brother Rice. And I could not, man, God is faithful is all I can say. And I just thought about it, and most of your coaches come up to me, and it was like with a grin on it. I mean, it's like we give a fist bump, and it's like he who is faithful in little is also faithful in much. You know what I'm saying? And so I've
Mm-hmm.
watched you be faithful over this program. And then now God is saying, okay, all right, let me reward you with the much. And we know that the Catholic Lead and Brother Rice program is prominent. Not that Southfield is not. You put them on the map, but talk about you know the Brother Rice. Talk about the transition. How you feel about all of that? I mean, it's just like
Yeah,
ta-da,
it's tough, man. It was real bittersweet. Of course, it wasn't an easy decision, while at the same time, me recognizing the blessing. Of course, I'm attached to Southfield. The people, right, the community. I was born and raised in Southfield, but I also went to Brother Rice High School, so I'm
right,
ultra attached to Brother Rice as well. Both my brothers graduated from there. The traditions that they have, the support they have around the football program amongst other sports programs there. Um, I just felt it was time and a great opportunity that was tough to pass up.
yeah. Yeah, that I've learned, as a former AD, as passionate I was with the people that you develop relationships with over the years. Sometimes God is like giving you a nudge, and it's his timing, the timing behind everything as well. It just kind of shows his sovereignty over it as well. Like, man, you walk out with a championship, and then now you go into another situation to help build the culture. And so, Coach, I look forward to continuing to help build culture with you, because I work with the Brother Rice basketball team I've been doing it for the past 3 years, with being that my son graduated from there, and it's a great school, and I could not be happier for you. So, fellas, let me ask you all this now. So, who leaves first? Who's going? Who's leaving first? Tashi, when do you leave? You going? You leaving on the Isaiah? You leaving on the 9th? You said, right?
Yes.
So, you're going down to Kansas. Are you looking forward to it? What are you looking forward to the most?
Um, Looking forward to the most just to learn the playbook and just to get a head start on the college life. Yeah.
So have they already given you the playbook?
No, but I do know some plays,
Oh yeah, okay.
but I haven't seen the full playbook yet. So I'm looking forward to see how that is, and see how I can do against the other college players.
Yeah, that's key, man, because it's gonna be faster, quicker, stronger. So is there what have you been doing anything as far as like have you just been just kind of relaxing, enjoying the moment, or you been working out, doing some things? What have you been doing?
I've been working out. I work out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday up at Impact Sports Performance in Novi, and I throw also. I throw on Saturday, Monday, sometimes Wednesday. It just all depends. But I work out 4 days a week.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta put that grind in, man. Man, I'm very proud of you. Isaiah, tell me, you used to hoop too, man. You used to, you had a little strap there. You could shoot that thing a little bit. I remember you played a couple of games with the family, with Jonathan and Amir, your cousin, and
Coach Tober.
yeah, Coach Tolbert. What come on, reflect give me what year was that? I mean, how old was you? What grade were we in? You was a fourth,
I
fifth?
think I think I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I was in 6th grade.
And we had
But I
Samaj.
was a year, yeah, because I was a year younger than everybody
Right,
else.
right.
I think that was great.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
remember that. I was like, man, this little kid can shoot that thing. So Tashi, talk to me, man. When do you leave again?
I leave January 12th.
Okay. So I'm sure it's like Isaiah, you've been, doing a grind. What have you been doing in your time?
So most of December, I've been I had playoffs on that. So I went out to throw with Isaiah to get back to running routes, and I felt good. I've been with my strength and conditioning coach. He's been in Southfield for a while. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
Okay, so just because you broke up a little bit, I think you broke up a little bit. So just kind of, if you don't mind, repeat that again.
Tashi, I think you might have to get closer to the phone.
I said I've been uh trying to my ankle and heels. So recently I went out to throw with Isaiah around routes, and I felt good doing that. And I've been lifting with my coach Cooks. So I've been doing that. He's been coaching Southfield since I've been there. Since I was a freshman. So I've been doing that, staying in shape.
So when you talk about running routes, like and Tashi and Coach Aaron, what's the difference like from the high school level to the college level in terms of the route running? How is that? What's different? What's significantly different than the transition? What does that look like?
Well, he's the well, first off, the DBs are better, so he's gonna have to be, how do I say this? Everything's gonna happen faster, right? So he's gonna have to get in out the breaks faster. The quarterback is throwing the ball faster, right? So everything heightens because the defense is better.
Okay.
So timing wise, everything is just going to be a second faster than what he's used, but he'll be fine. I mean, to be honest, Tashi's ready, right? That like everybody may not be ready. I know sometimes it's an adjustment, and it'll be an adjustment for him to some extent, but he's ready to compete, and that's a lot of guys in our senior class, like they're ready to compete on the next level. So because he has that chip on his shoulder of competing, how he's been doing in Southfield all his career, I think he'll be fine on the next level, adjusting to the college. But that the adjustment will be the speed, though. But I think he'll be fine doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I can only go on what my son has communicated to me. Like after his first practice, he called me and he was like had this smile on his dad. He said, I ain't never been through nothing like this before. And it was he said, but I'm gonna get it. He said, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna figure this thing out. And I want to commend you and or encourage both of you all, you know, study more, figure it out. There's going to be moments, there're going to be high moments, low moments, but in the midst of it all, just figure it out. Keep working at it, keep grinding, and you're going to be successful. It's in your DNA, and so forth. So I got one last thought I want to just throw at you. I appreciate you all being on here, and was talking about in adversity a little bit, because it may, how will you handle adversity? What are some ways that you would handle adversity um, going to the next level? This is Tashi, Isaiah, and also Coach Marshall as well. So I don't know anybody. I'll start with Isaiah.
I would say I can handle it by just believing in God and just knowing He's by my side and just trusting God too, and just to not give up, just to keep trusting the process and just to take things step by step and just to just be consistent. So yeah, I would say just to believe in God and just trust the process and just don't give up.
Here you go, Tashi.
Uh, so putting God first, and just going back to everything that all my parents and coaches taught me throughout the years, getting me ready for this moment. So God first, going back to what everybody taught me.
That's great. And Coach, I'm gonna have you end it up.
I like both their answers too. I absolutely put God first and just understand that we're all prepared for these moments and we've all trained for these moments, all of our life. We know what works and just, keep living the right way and eventually things, will fall in place for you. But it's going to be a struggle, some adversity in everything you do. Nothing is foolproof, but if you stay consistent, right, and everything, I think it all works out for you.
Yeah, love it. I love it. Well, I'm excited once again for all three of you all and your next journey that God has before you. And I want to thank you once again for taking some time out and being with us on this call or interview. And what I want to do is I just want to offer a word of prayer before we end this, so that the viewers will be able to. I want them to follow suit and what I pray, because that's what I believe. I believe the power of prayer. I mean, um, I sit there and I watch my son, all of my sons play, but I watch when I see Jonathan getting ready to go out there and play. I know he's getting ready to go to war, right? And I'm like, man, Lord, keep him safe and all of that. But more importantly, give him wisdom through the process. And so I want to do that right now for you guys. And then we're going to end this call. So, Father, I thank you in advance for these players and coach Aaron Marshall that have come before us. Lord, I pray for Isaiah as he takes his talents to Kansas, Lord, that you will have a hedge of protection over him and watch over him and bless his steps and allow him to operate in the spirit of wisdom. Continue to do the exceedingly abundantly above what Isaiah can ask or think, Father. I thank you for it. I also pray the same prayer for Tashi as he takes his talents to Toledo. Lord, be with him. Do the exceedingly abundantly above what he can ask or think. Continue to surround them with godly young men and coaches, and allow them to be able to just to see your glory, Father. I thank you, Father, for what you're doing in their life. And then I pray for Coach Marshall as you have given him a platform to coach, to lead, to guide, to instruct. I just pray, Lord, that you will be with him. Whatever his hands touch, it prospers. Just as you said with Joshua when he took over from Moses, I say the same. And I pray for that mantle to be upon Coach Marshall, that wherever his feet tread, he shall prosper, that he will be strong and courageous in leading And I just give you all the glory, honor, and praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
And once again, hey, I want to say thank you to Coach Aaron Marshall, Isaiah Marshall, and Tashi Braceful, the Southfield, the state champions for the Southfield A&T Warriors boys football team. And I want to say this is Glenn Blackwell. Thank you for joining in, and God bless.
Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate it.